The mess hall fell silent when Kael entered. Not the comfortable quiet of focused eating, but the electric tension that preceded violence or revelation. Conversations died mid-sentence. Forks paused halfway to mouths. 200 pairs of eyes tracked his movement from the entrance to the serving line with the intensity of predators evaluating prey. He'd expected this. Word traveled fast in a closed facility like Blackthorn, and what happened during the Hollow raid couldn't be contained by official silence. Too many people had witnessed the impossible, a non-resonant not just surviving a null's presence, but actively draining power from her while everyone else's abilities failed. The reactions painted themselves across familiar faces in stark contrasts. Some cadets watched him with naked awe, as if he transcended mortality itself. Others radiated fear so pure it made his stolen abilities twitch in response. A third group simply stared with the calculating assessment of people trying to determine whether he represented opportunity or threat. Marcus Webb occupied a corner table alone, picking at his food with mechanical precision. Their eyes met for a split second, long enough for Kael to catch the hollow recognition there. Marcus knew, on some level, that his diminished abilities were connected to Kael's presence. The knowledge sat between them like a loaded weapon neither wanted to acknowledge. Well. Jace Morrison's voice carried across 3 tables, loud enough to ensure everyone heard. Look who decided to join us normal people for breakfast. The mockery felt different now. Where once it had been casual cruelty aimed at a powerless outcast, now it carried the sharp edge of someone trying to reassert dominance in a world that had shifted beneath his feet. Jace's friends laughed, but the sound rang hollow. Kael loaded his tray with regulation protein bars and synthesized orange juice, hyper-aware of every movement being catalogued by hostile observers. The frequency whispered statistical assessments of nearby resonance, threat levels, potential drain values, tactical advantages. He forced the invasive analysis into background noise and found an empty table. He'd taken 3 bites when Sable approached. Her presence shifted the entire room's dynamic. Conversations resumed at nearby tables, but with the forced casualness of people pretending not to eavesdrop. She set her tray across from his with deliberate precision and sat down like she was claiming territory. "You're making people nervous," she said without preamble. "I noticed. Half of them think you're some kind of secret weapon the Corps has been developing. The other half think you're a hollow plant designed to infiltrate and sabotage." Sable's golden eyes studied his face with uncomfortable intensity. "Which is it?" The question hung between them like a bridge neither wanted to cross. Around the mess hall, conversations had grown quieter as people strained to catch fragments of their exchange. This wasn't just breakfast, it was theater, with implications that would ripple through the entire outpost. Kael met her gaze directly. "I'm exactly what I've always been. Someone trying to survive in a world that doesn't have room for people like me. People like you." Sable repeated the phrase like she was tasting something bitter. "And what exactly are people like you?" "Show her," the frequency whispered. "Demonstrate what we have become. She fears what she cannot understand." "Dangerous," Kael said quietly. For a long moment, they stared at each other across the narrow table. The entire mess hall seemed to hold its breath, waiting for Sable's response. Her reputation as the outpost's most promising combat specialist gave her words weight that could shape opinion and influence policy. When she spoke, her voice carried clearly across the suddenly silent room. "Good." Sable's hand moved to rest on the table between them, close enough to his that their fingers almost touched. "Dangerous people are exactly what we need to fight what's coming. Anyone who has a problem with Kael Morrow can bring it to me directly." The declaration hit like a physical force. Sable Voss, golden child of the Corps, heir to a military dynasty, the untouchable standard by which other cadets measured themselves, had just publicly vouched for him. Not quietly, not with careful political language, but with the kind of direct challenge that left no room for misinterpretation. The silence stretched until someone dropped a fork. The metallic clatter seemed to break whatever spell had held the room, and conversations resumed with artificial normalcy. "Why?" Kael asked. "Because I've seen you fight. I've trained with you." Sable's voice dropped to barely above a whisper. "And because whatever you're becoming, I'd rather have it on our side." She stood and picked up her tray, but paused before leaving. "Lab 7 after breakfast. Ren wants to show you something." The mess hall gradually emptied as cadets finished eating and headed to morning assignments. Kael sat alone at his table, processing what had just happened. Sable's public endorsement was a shield, but it was also a target painted on both their backs. His communicator chimed with an incoming message marked Priority Alpha. The sender made his blood run cold. Corps Headquarters, Director's Office. Director Ilara Hallam has taken personal interest in anomalous combatant designation KM 7439. Transport departs Luna Base 1400 hours. Arrival Blackthorn estimated 0900 tomorrow. Prepare full briefing materials and subject for enhanced evaluation protocols. Across the room, Okafor read the same message on his tablet. For the first time since Kael had known him, genuine fear flickered across the commander's face.